Good morning. We're back here at Joe's Diner. It's Sunday morning, cars and coffee. We've got this wicked little MR2, and we've got the owner waiting here to have a chat. How you doing, dude? Good morning, Jordan. How you doing, mate?
Nice to meet you.
So this thing's super cool, man. And we've seen it before, but you've taken off the road for a little bit, and you've done a bit of work now on it too, haven't you? You've added some add-ons and obviously given it a polish. Looks really tidy now.
Yeah, I got it about 3.5 years ago. Real rough, but I decided just to give it a paint myself and do a couple of upgrades.
It looks really tight, but it looks pretty fast as well, though, because you've got those nice kind of drag radial sort of wheels on it. It's very 1320, like what you'd see in the States. Those guys do some pretty big turbo setups on these things, and it's pretty rare to see that here in Australia because not a lot of people mess around with these cars, do they?
No, there's a couple down south. They did real well down at Kuta.
Yeah.
I bought this just before they started doing that down at Kuta because I saw what they were doing over in the States
Oh yeah.
and pretty much just modelled it off a lot of the stuff that they do over there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed setup. I had a VH with a turbo LS.
Yeah.
Always having problems getting traction.
Right.
So I figured I'll go back to a 4-cylinder and see what the hype is about, basically.
Dude, you've got some massive tires on the back of this thing. What are you running on the back?
They're just the Heroes. So they're the 275/60. It's the only MR2 in the world that runs a 28-inch rear tire.
Really?
Yeah, they all run 26s. So
Now, I love the way the back looks. Go over to the back. Because you've got the exhaust just coming straight out in the middle there. And then even without even looking too hard, you can see through the vented top and see the massive turbo back there. Can we have a look what's going on back there?
yeah, for sure.
Man, it's such a clean car though too. Like the paint is immaculate. I do love this though. This looks sick. Wow. Dude, that's super tidy in there. So tell me about what's going on back there.
It's a K24 built by me with a Honda gearbox with a BF Brazilian gear set in it. So it's a full dog box and it's got a G45 and a FuelTech runs it.
Was it pretty hard to source parts for this particular sort of motor?
Oh no, aftermarket for this is real easy.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the States, heaps of Honda guys, heaps of big turbos. So sourcing the parts is easy. They actually do kits now to fit them into this chassis.
Oh, wow.
But when I did the swap, I just made my own mounts and everything. So, yeah, relatively straightforward. It comes out standard with a 4-cylinder turbo, and it really lends itself nicely to the Honda package.
It's still H pattern.
Yeah,
It's still H pattern. Wow.
Yeah, I run a strain gauge on it. So basically, use the clutch to launch, and then after that, I don't use the clutch.
Really?
Yeah, and I just push it through the gears. It talks to the computer and it just cuts the power.
So how much power are you running out of this thing now?
Oh, I don't know.
Roughly.
It would probably be around 850 tyre right now.
In an MR2?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's just street tuned, going off what the FuelTech tells me that it's using. But goal is throw it on the hub and push 1,000.
So running that much power out of this thing, did you have to do a lot of work on the gearbox, the drive shafts, and the rear end?
Yeah, that's where all of the problem is with this sort of setup. The motor will take a bunch of power built, but the drive line is bad. So a lot of people just go sequential.
Yeah.
They hold up okay. The problem then is axles and diff. So I got a whole package from BF Gears in Brazil, and yeah.
So you had to source quite a few parts from overseas, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically everything comes from overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so tidy in there though. Like I like the fact that you've actually kept with the same color palette all the way through. It's actually really nicely set up as well. It's not just slapped together sort of thing, you know.
I'm no one for colors. I'm terrible.
Oh, yeah?
So I figure just black.
Yeah.
Black.
Can't go wrong with black.
And then it just runs a water cooler,
wow.
water cooler in the back
Look at the setup back there.
with an ice box. Pretty simple. move the battery to the back, just trying to get all the weight at the back, even though there's already a heap there.
So what's the plans with this thing? Is it something that you want to start doing some racing with, or is it just a bit of a car that you're just going to enjoy in Mexico?
Yeah, definitely Mexico, but yeah, wouldn't mind a bit more no prep.
Yeah, okay.
I've really only had one go at no prep
Yeah.
out of Lakeside. Goes real well.
Has it done a quarter time before?
No, hasn't done a quarter time, but the plan is possibly be able to get to the quickest MR2 in Australia, which is at 8.7. So planning on...
Is that the current time?
Yeah.
8.7?
Yeah,
Wow.
Adrian ran that. He actually ran that no prep in his black MR2 down
Yeah.
south that he doesn't have anymore. So he ran that. I think it was like maybe 170 odd mile an hour. So that's sort of where I'm hoping this to be, around the 170, 75, and yeah, at least an 8.
Yeah.
So it's just with being a manual, it's just so hard to launch.
It would be, yeah.
So-
Yeah. Can we hear it? Can you turn it on for a
Yeah,
sec?
yeah.
I just want to hear this exhaust coming out the back. Like, I've been going this thing. It's got bigger exhaust than the Corvette that I got, for crying out loud. It's actually like, it's pretty tame. Like, it's got a nice idle to it.
Yeah. It used to have a different exhaust, just running out the back of the bumpers like standard, but
I love that you've done that. I
Figured.
fucking love that,
why
dude.
not?
It looks fantastic. Mate, thank you so much for bringing it out. And I can't wait to see what sort of times you end up running with this thing.
No problems.
Yeah, well done with the build, man. It's
Thanks,
awesome. Thanks for watching, guys.